Hello to my Geminis. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading, Geminis. Let's get right into it. We have a full moon in Pisces, a full blood moon in Pisces, and a total lunar eclipse the same day on the 7th of September. And so it's a very powerful moment of endings, revelations, and transformation for you. And so for you being a Gemini, it strongly highlights your career, your reputation, and your public role in the world. And so this lunation asks you to realign your outer path with your inner truth, right? So in terms of like your career and public life, it looks like there's some energies who may have been trying to put a negative, negative reputation out there about you. It's going to activate your 10th house in terms of your career, your status, your reputation, especially if you're a Gemini rising. So you may see a culmination in your work, whether that's recognition for your efforts, a shift in your career, or the release of a career path that it no longer feels aligned, right? In other words, some people have been feeling like, okay, just because you kind of like go along with certain things, that they can end you. Right? They can really end you because what news travels fast, right? You know, so some people say, okay, well, since, Geminis like to communicate, you're ruled by the communication plan. You rule third house, by the way, and that's the house of communication. And you're an air sign, right? But communication is a strong point for you. It's a very strong point for you. So somebody who is trying to end you by thinking that you're going to go along with just like their lie about something. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. New you, new love, new career, new life. Here we go. So every word I speak is with love, truth, and good intention, right? So somebody is been saying, basically it's in reverse, right? Every word that you speak is with hate, lies, and bad intentions, right? Basically somebody is saying you're vindictive, okay? So it's a new you. It's a whole new you, right? All right. So this is not for someone to get angry, but a new you. Remember your air sign. Air sign connects us with the element of the heart chakra, right? And so which is developed like 22 to like want to say late 40s. And so you're operating in the spirit of love. Here's the thing. Long before that, you have your root chakra, and the basic need for that is safety, right? And so you may not have felt safe in certain spaces, right, to speak a truth, right? Variety, emotions and intimacy, sacral chakra, and then you may not have felt powerful. You may not have felt like you had a true identity. That's your solar plexus. And so then your heart chakra, which is developed 22 to like 40 something, late 40s, desire to love and be loved. So somebody is like kind of coming into their own now. So here's a current situation. High priestess, you could have high priestess energy, and you see these two dark, you have dark here and stepping into the light, right? Stepping into a light, to protect your peace about something. So something is, you're cutting off possibly like blood relatives. You're cutting off some blood relatives. It's a new you, it's a new love, it's a new career, it's a new life. You're cutting off some blood relatives. This is what this blood moon is about. You are, as an air sign, as sword energy, you could be cutting off some blood relatives just to protect your peace of mind, right? Yeah, here we have the Empress card because they've been expecting for you to carry them. You've been carrying some people on your back for a long time. It's like you gave birth to them. Some people, you've been carrying them financially, you've been carrying them, and your intention has been you have been speaking your truth, good intention, in love as far as they're concerned, but no matter what you say, they expect for you to keep carrying them. And so Source is saying you're not doing that anymore. You're on a higher frequency. You operate in the spirit of love. And so this is where the buck stops. You're not carrying people anymore. It's not even about whether you can write them off on your taxes or not, but what you're speaking now is like you're growing your abundance and your prosperity. And I'm channeling energy, by the way. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Coming back, welcome back. If you're over on my Patreon side, those videos will go up to help you really close out this cycle, and finish out this cycle strong. So yeah, this is about keeping your vibrations high. So if I pick up on your energy and it's down in a low place, I'm gonna help you close this out. So we're gonna close out this cycle, give you some tips and how you can close all of this out, okay? All right? Because a lot of times you don't have to, remember there's many forms of communication, Gemini. You don't even have to, you can have an emotion about something. You could say, you know what, I've carried people on my back. I don't even have to talk about it. I've carried people on my back. I don't have to get mad, nothing. I can just pull out my sword and just cut them off. I can just cut them off. Because that's what these energies want. They want you, this is where the creativity comes in, right? By any means necessary. So these energies will make up a lie about you every single time. Oh, you got pregnant by somebody else. You smell like, when you see all this fish right here, you get this fishy smell to you, because you're sleeping around with this energy, and anything to disrupt your peace in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And so Source is saying to you, it's time for you to just learn how to pull out your sword. Like, get clear about how powerful sword energy is. Somebody wants to be loved by any means necessary. I'm telling you, by any means necessary. They want to be just loved. They have a desire to be loved, instead of saying they love themselves enough to say, okay, I'm just cutting these energies off. Yeah, some people, they don't respond to certain things. They're just like, okay, people will fall on their own sword. You're learning how to just close out cycles in love. You're like, okay, that's what you want to believe. It'll come out. Here's the 7 of Wands here. It'll come out. 7 of Wands. It's not you being passive, but somebody has shown themselves to be an open enemy to you. They have shown themselves to be a complete and total open enemy to you, because you've been carrying somebody far too long. It's a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Somebody has just shown themselves to be an open enemy to you, because they want you to keep carrying them. And so everything that comes out of them is, whether it's siblings, they turn the siblings against you. Family members, anybody, blood relative, anything that comes out of them with blood in them, they'll turn a dog against you. Anything that comes out of them it ends. It causes some kind of an ending. Pisces rules 12th house. 12th house is about endings and transcendence. You have transcended. You have ascended higher. It's something you couldn't believe, something you could have felt like, okay, is this an illusion? Am I delusional? Am I losing my mind? Am I going crazy? So Source is saying somebody really does have that spirit, that God complex. It's their way or the highway. It literally is their way or the highway. You see how this person is sitting here in a lotus position, praying and meditating? This energy will sit back down and pray and meditate like nothing ever happened. Source is saying to you, you've already gone through enough dark nights of the soul. Cut them off. Use your sword, cut them off. That's going to sound harsh to some people, because some people keep going through this buildup and they're showing in their body. It literally is showing in their body. The way that they walk their shoulders humped up, because they're carrying all this energy in their back, right? All of this in their stomach area. They're looking in the mirror, they're like, God, I gained so much weight. They step on the scale, they stressed out. Stress weight. So say, you're going to release that stress. You're going to release it. I'm telling you, decree and declare, you releasing that. You sacrifice way too much. I don't care if you're a man or woman, it don't even really matter. You're not gonna be stressed eating, none of that stuff. You take yourself to the gym, you say, listen, every word I speak is with love, truth, and intention. Somebody basically saying, oh, you got that smell off of so-and-so. You must have slept with so-and-so. So it's just saying, and you know good and well you ain't sleep with so-and-so. So no matter how much you tell the truth, with love, good intention, and speaking the truth, somebody is determined to say that you slept with somebody. And so Source is saying to you, hey, listen, don't give it no more energy. None. If you know that something isn't the truth. Now, obviously, if it's not the truth, then it'll come out in a blood test. I mean, for real. But if you know it's the truth, if you know something is not true, then why give it any energy? For real. Like, why give it any energy whatsoever? Yeah. You already made enough sacrifices. Yeah. Be conservative with your time. Just be conservative with your time. Yeah. Somebody feels like they have something on you in the physical sense. Either they feel like they holding on to your child, or they have something against you. They feel like, okay, they got your kids, whether you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter. Or they feel like they are being conservative with their time. And like I said, they sit down praying and meditate, but they've been praying on you for a long time, and you just haven't seen it because you kept going along with the flow. Somebody could be dealing with an Aries. Somebody could be dealing with a Libra. Somebody could be dealing with this is somebody in your family. This is somebody in your family. Somebody's been trying to hang you out to dry for a long time, whoever this is. But source is saying to you, it doesn't really matter. Somebody's attaching you to something. They're linking you to something, right? But source is also saying to you, whoever you are, you have multiple streams of income, right? 4 and 8. Again, you have multiple streams of income, right? So what you're learning is to just cut ties. Just cut ties and move on. Learn how to cut ties and just learn how to cut ties. There it is, the death card. What gets a lot of people in trouble is you got to respond to every little thing. Right? Remember, you're ruled by the communication planet. You got to respond to everything. Because if I start talking, so it's like, who told you to say anything? There's other ways to communicate. Just cut them off. You ain't gonna say anything. Let them fall on their own sword. That's the real power. You keep your vibrations high. Let them fall on their own sword. They will end themselves. They will end themselves. You don't need to say anything. They will end, whoever this energy is, they will end themselves. Because somebody has shown, this is in your family, by the way, because we're talking about the blood moon. This is in your family, by the way. And a lot of people have this in common, Gemini. You have carried them. You have worked your behind off to get to where you are, right? You've been carrying people, meaning that when you go to the store, you go get extra groceries just in case certain people need them. You've been doing this because your abundance and your prosperity is growing. And guess what? Your abundance and prosperity is getting ready to still continue growing. Why? Because you speaking real truth, real facts. You speaking facts. People who have been doing this, now you can be conservative with your money. Now you don't have to, because you're not stress eating anymore. You're not stressed out. Who's talking about me behind my back? You know, I used to ride with them and we used to give each other rides. You don't have to give them rides anymore. Save your gas. All that wear and tear on your car, your tires and all that. Stop doing that to you. Stop doing that to yourself. What you doing? You just need, sometimes people just need people who have been through this stuff already to tell you, you can turn this around. Every word you speak is with love, truth, and good intention. These energies, well, whoever these energies are, it's a whole new you. You used to go along with a programming before. You ain't going along with no programming. You standing firm. You put something to rest. That's it. You put something, you said what you said, and that was the end of that. These energies try to link you to something. You said what you said. You put it to rest. They thought holding on to somebody or something, whether they feel like they had something on you, was going to end you. Guess what? At first I was afraid. I was petrified. And kept thinking I couldn't live without you by my side. Whatever the lyrics say, y'all know what I'm saying. But the point is, somebody really thought that if they could end you by holding something against you, you're like, you've been abundant and prosperous. Coming out the womb, you was abundant and prosperous. That was the secret. All you need to learn how to do is learn how to use your sword. I'm trying to help somebody. All you need to learn how to do, Gemini, is learn how to use your sword. Listen, these energies was trying to stay connected to you like you gave birth to them, like somebody had to cut the umbilical cord. So it's like, listen, all you have to do is take that cord, cut the cord, do a cord cutting ceremony. I have the information. If you scroll down on my community page, I have a whole cord cutting ceremony, name by name. No weapon formed against you is going to prosper. I'm telling you. Can't say they weren't formed, but they're not going to prosper. These are people you had their backs literally in court. Whether you had to physically go to court, write letters for these people, write letters for them to go to college or university or go to a higher level education, somewhere you had, and they still did you an injustice. What are you doing, Geminis? What you doing? And they still stabbed you in the back in court? Child, please. You better pray about it for real. Geminis, you better pray about it and roll over and go to sleep. Give it to source. Give it to source. These are called open enemies. They project, no matter what you do, they feel like you're supposed to keep carrying them. Stop going with the program. This could be a man or woman. It doesn't really matter. Whoever it is, you can have it back 1,000 times. The one time you say no, Gemini, then all of a sudden they stab you in the back. How many times you gonna keep putting ointment on your back to cover up scars? Yeah, because that's how they feel about themselves. How many times you gonna keep putting ointment on your back? Leave that energy outside of your vault door. You know your worth. They keep trying to get in. They keep trying to get in. This is family member. And they keep letting people use them to make them feel worthless even more and more and more and more and more, because they want so bad to be a part of it. Until they know their worth and their value, pray for them. Just pray for them. But don't give that energy access to you anymore. You'll feel what they're going through, but you have a soulmate coming across your path. You have a soulmate coming across your path. The reason why you'll feel what they're going through is because you were once them. You used to want to be a part of something as far as family is concerned. You were once them. That's why you have so much compassion towards these two, because it's like they two peas in a pod. They want to be a part of something so bad. I'm telling y'all, everybody wants to be a part of a group or organization. Everybody want to be a part. You want to be chosen for the job. You want to be a part of this. That's great. But when it comes to being, talked down to in a condescending way, because you just want, you got to wait around for somebody to die in order to inherit something. So that means they just talk to you, your kids, your spouse, everybody like they just worthless. And you sticking around for that? You could tell some people where they could stick their money, but you're not. You just cutting all of them off. These energies right here, something has already ended in them. I'm talking about somebody has some in-laws who has been talking to. This is why, oh my goodness, this is what's coming to me. I don't know who I'm talking to when I say this. This is why somebody's marriage really ended. Somebody was married to somebody. I don't know who I'm talking to when I say this. I'm just channeling messages here. So whoever you are, I'm going to bring you back into a light place. I'm going to bring you back to higher ground, help you to ascend right now. Somebody was married to somebody and have kids with somebody, and the kids inherited that same spirit. Lord have mercy. Somebody was married and have kids, or maybe you weren't married. Who cares? Y'all know it's no judgment on this channel. You married, have kids, whatever. But somebody was in a relationship with somebody and y'all have kids with somebody who has been feeling worthless from the very beginning. Their family made them feel worthless from the very beginning, because you came from, whoever you are, you must have came from a family who your family tried to make you feel worthless. But you was like, I come through and cut all y'all off. And like, you would be like, whoever you are, you be the type of person that would be like, okay, your ancestors made too many sacrifices. You cut all them off, and they know it. They know it. You'll cut them off with a quickness. You'll sit there, you'll cry about it, you'll pray. You'll be like, as long as I didn't carry y'all, you will cut every last one of them off without even batting an eyelash, right? And people, oh, they so cold, they cut everybody off. Nah. You're an air sign. You thought about it. You kept going along with the flow. You kept going along with the flow. Kept talking to people, detaching, reconnecting, detaching, reconnecting. Finally, you said, you know what? I'm detaching completely. They took something way too far. Somebody was married to somebody or had kids with somebody who would not stand up to their own family. And that's the real reason why the relationship ended. That's the real reason. If you want to get to the nuts and bolts of something, they would not stand up to their own family. And their own family trickled down. They talk to you some kind of way. Oh, that's her. Because they waiting on some kind of payout. They waiting on some kind of inheritance. But what if they die before the people with the money die? They feel like money is the key to everything. So a soulmate is coming across your path because somebody feels like they get it. They understand. Like, who waiting for somebody to die to inherit something when you when you have source inside of you? Some people will let their own family talk to them like they are dead, for real. They will talk to them, they'll cuss them out, cuss their kids out, mess up their marriage, mess up their whole life just because they waiting on somebody to die so they can inherit a house, a car, a little check, or whatever the case may be. They'll mess up they get married 10 times until they find somebody who is just going to sit there in zombified mode. When for real somebody came across you and you was about to let somebody have it, you was like, you know what? Whoever your savior is, you said, please put your sandal on my tongue, because if I say something, everybody out here about to be slain, okay? Slain in whatever spirit y'all in, I'm about to lay it down. So somebody, whoever you are, says, no, you know what? You just go ahead and put an end to it. You said, bye-bye. You have a soul. Woo. So Gemini, you have a soulmate, because somebody know the power of their words. I'm telling you, words have power, and you could have laid some people out. You hear what I'm saying? But you said, nope. You number 10 the situation. You said, no, I'd rather go ahead and switch over to a side of people who are actually divine connections. For real, that they were handpicked by source, the creator, for you to connect with. You'd rather be a part of a divine connection. You don't even want to be with. So this is a Taurus. This is a Taurus or a Taurus moon. Yeah, somebody is vain, vengeful, green with envy, because I'm telling y'all, it is not cute. If people ever seen a Geminis are funny. If people ever saw a Gemini go off and really read people for filth. Okay, Geminis. Because I had to edit this. That's why you hear they get cut off. They read people for filth. Because y'all already know ... the rest. People be slain for real. But so source is saying a lot of people are very much connected to their third house. So you are ruled third house. So you would rather just say, you know what? I'll number 10 the whole situation. I don't want to. I'll leave that group of energies. I'll just say bye-bye to that group of energies altogether. Because you see these two right here, these two women right here. Somebody could have, at a young age, been around the LGBTQIA plus community and learn how to read people at a young age. Child. I'm telling you, listen. Somebody's trying to make it into heaven. That's all I can say. Somebody says, like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put a zipper over my mouth, because if I go in, so when I look at the cards, somebody say, look, let me just, that's what you say. You just say, let me just go ahead and let me go ahead and put it, Roman numeral 10 over something. Just Roman numeral 10 or X. Let me just go ahead and put an X over something, because if you really go in, the mouth could be vicious. The mouth could be vicious, but again, that's not you would rather just leave people out of your life. And good, that's good. Because some energies are vain, vengeful, green with envy, and people have already made them feel worthless, lower than low. And that's not your heart, okay? That is not your heart towards people. You're a very compassionate person, and that is not your heart. But see, somebody made a mistake at coming for you when you didn't send for them. And you try to tell somebody you was telling the truth about something, but see, somebody got some mess started. A dark high priestess got some mess started, right? Because they wanted you to carry something. They wanted you to carry them on their back. And I don't know, you could have worked with this person or whatever. Somebody could have wanted a leadership position or whatever. Because somebody felt like they're going to do something their way or the highway. But the way they went about doing it was in a very slick way. A very slick and sneaky way. They did something behind your back, thinking they was going to get some kind of rise up out of you. But child, all they proved to be was an open enemy. Here's the fool card. Yeah, somebody messed around and found out. Yeah, you're not a fool. not by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, you feel fulfilled without this energy. They done messed around and found out that you done left the group. Something they basically said, so either you are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, or maybe like your kids are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, whatever it is. But whatever it is, you have been enlightened about something, right? And in the spiritual sense or religious sense, somebody makes it seem like they are holier than thou in a sense, right? You know, in a sense that they would feel like, okay, because there's two sides to this, right? Somebody feels like they're holier than thou, right? And so people like to hold on to stuff. It's not about somebody being holier than thou. Let me just break something down for you. Let's say, for instance, you are a Christian, and that this is not teaching the Bible. But if you believe that your Savior has already paid the price, why try to why judge people by their sin? So if there's no respect of person and there's no degrees of sin, if a person says, hey, they don't want to be involved in such and such, they're not crossing over certain lines. Somebody just happened to cross a line as far as you're concerned. Somebody crossed the line as far as you're concerned. Right? Yeah, somebody crossed the line as far as you're concerned. I feel like for real, somebody was maybe interested in you, right? Somebody could have been interested in you, and they could have done something to your child. Somebody could be a Capricorn, and this is a Capricorn is significance in this. Somebody sacrificed a Capricorn. They either said something about a Capricorn, whatever it is. And for real, you could end somebody. For this death card right here, you could literally end somebody with their words. But why? Well, you just cut them off, because somebody already feels lower than low. It's literally like somebody could have ended something in court already, meaning like you could have divorced somebody and that ended them. It's almost like that wasn't enough for somebody, right? You could have ended something. You said, okay, we'll put an end to something in court. All right. But it's almost like somebody keeps coming back, like they just feel lower and lower and lower, right? But you're saying, okay, this is where the creativity comes in. You don't have to say anything anymore. Stop talking, Gemini, please. You don't need to say anything anymore. You don't need to say anything anymore. Just say bye. Just say goodbye. Like little kids be like bye-bye. They be waving them little fat fingers. Bye-bye. It's a whole new you. You don't need to say anything. That's going to speak louder than anything, because what you're dealing with is a spirit that they don't believe anything unless they see it. That's what you're dealing with. You think money is in the physical realm. It's a spirit, right? It's an energy. It's a resource. You're dealing with some energy. They don't believe it until they can't come to your house anymore. That you don't want to go for a ride. Remember, y'all ruled third house. Third house speaks to sibling relationships. It speaks to communication of all kinds. You're not emailing them, texting them. They're blocked. They can't come to your house. You're not going to theirs. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, they didn't believe you until you said goodbye. They didn't hear a word you said until you said goodbye. And they realized you weren't coming back. So that even cuts the soul connection. Now it sends all of that spell work back. Now they're the ones that are feeling worthless, because they now realize, dang, they was being used. They were being used. And here comes a new soulmate coming into your life. As long as they can link up with you, get a ride from you, as long as you still connecting with them in some kind of way, they had a half grin on their face, confused. Don't add to the confusion. That's your way of helping people. Say bye-bye. You ain't gotta be mad. They're now drowning in the truth, right? Something is ended. So it's over, child. It's over. You being a fool is over. You are not Boo-Boo, the fool, Homie the clown. You're not a part of a circus. Child, please. Whew. So now you're just praying for people. That's all you're doing. You're praying. Yeah. You got big money coming across your path. And it's not even all about money. But somebody could not. But that's what was, I'm telling y'all. Source was delaying a big payout for you all, Gemini, until you cut these energies off because of who they were attached to. And some of these energies are some of y'all in-laws. That's why some of these spouses, they won't speak up for their mate because, and it's not talking about anybody, just again, take only what resonates with you. That's why you're going to pray ahead of time, source. Make sure I'm with somebody that they don't see me as opposition from day one. That you don't have to step into, when you talking about you want to be a part of the family, and you walk in there and the family members are treating their sister and brother, treating you any kind of way, or their aunts and uncles looking down on you, and they just sitting there like they didn't hear or see anything. Some people have been through all 10 cups. That's why they can speak that's why they can speak to a lot of different things. People think they're being negative, but a lot of people are going through that. That's why some people can say bye-bye. That's why some people are very clear. They're very clear about what goes on behind closed doors. That's why they say, please don't invite them to stuff. They don't want it. They've already been through it before. They'll cut a person off in a heartbeat. See this person right here laid out drunk? This person right here crown off their head? They know that's what goes on behind closed doors. These people then drove somebody to drinking. Here's the Ace of Pentacles. Source had to delay your money until you realize it's a new you, new career, new life. It took some of y'all a long time to figure out it's a whole new you. That some people's love language is money. Now some people want to come back now that they see it's really, it took them a minute to figure out, oh my God, it's really, really over. Yeah. You're not turning around and turn back into a pillar of salt. Here we are. 9 of Cups. Listen, a lot of your wishes about to be filled. Money is going to be the first thing. These energies would have seen you out in the cold. They would have saw you out in the cold somewhere. And they like to project that onto other people. Oh, they want to be out in the cold. They love to project that onto other people. But you know some people online, when you hear the same stuff and people don't even know you personally, you just like, now wait a minute, that sounds like my story. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Somebody got a recorder in my house, or somebody listen to my comment, you start looking around. So it's like, no, because it's too many people that share the same story. Behind closed doors, some people's family make them feel horrible. And they expect for when you walk in, you're supposed to feel just like they feel. So y'all supposed to both come in happy and bubbly, but y'all both leave arguing because y'all both had that spirit of divisiveness on you when you leave. Now y'all in the car fighting, battling, kaboom, sound like kapow, kaboom. Y'all mad at each other. Kids mad. It's just they didn't drained all the happiness out of you all and deposited a bunch of chaos and confusion. You're not letting these spirits back into your home. Yeah, you won big time. You won. I'm trying to teach y'all how to use your sword. Y'all gonna learn how to come through and be like, you know what? I'm not wasting my words. I'm not wasting 1 ounce of a word, not a half a word. Instead of reading people, I'm reading books. I'm increasing my knowledge and wisdom. Some of y'all going back to school. Yeah, open your vault door, close that thing airtight. Leave all that mess outside of your house. Time to ground yourself. Because somebody now wants to come back. Somebody now wants to come back into your life and they feel lower than low. And again, you're not judging them by any stretch of the imagination because this used to be you. That's why you're not judging anybody. Because I'm telling y'all, some people's families, they don't even understand. This whoever you were with, this was y'all, somebody's relationship ended and somebody wanted to be connected to you. They wanted to be connected to your money, but they didn't want to be connected. They knew they couldn't be connected to you. So they wanted to be connected to your money by any means necessary. But somebody else couldn't figure it out. This could have been like family members couldn't figure it out. Your kids may not have been able to figure something out, whatever. But now somebody is now coming back because they feel lower than low. Again, you're not judging them. Because guess what? It used to be you. You were naive too. Because I'm telling you, if they had caught you, Gemini, 10 years ago, I'm looking at that number 10, you would have put an end to all you would have put an end to all speculation. So yeah, you know your ancestors were with you. They said they was rubbing your back Here we are, speak it into existence. You learn how, somebody learning how to, you know, just, you know, step through your portal. You know, you stepping into your next wealthy place. Here we have, you have a whole new attitude. Take a leap of faith. Gemini, look. Some people's family don't understand. So your family already know. That's why you had to step away, because you said, okay, you know your family know they can get it. Like, okay, you know, they backed up because they need to cool down. Wherever you are, Gemini. But somebody else's family didn't know. They had no idea. And guess what? You wouldn't have had to put up one fist. You wouldn't have had to get into one fight. Your words would have laid some people out. You hear what I'm saying? They don't get it. So treat yourself to a spa day. Yeah, because somebody really envies you. Somebody really envies you. But the stuff that you got, you really carrying a gift. You really carrying a gift. And somebody thought by copying you in your family that they were going to somehow inherit the same gift. But the gift was given to you, just like they have their own gift. So that's why you now keeping people outside of your life. The answers you seek are coming. Yeah, somebody really, I'm talking to men and women, Geminis, by the way. But somebody really envies your gift, and the enemy's playing backfire. Yeah, so you have the gift of telepathy. Yeah, so you're sending prayers to whoever this young energy is, because this used to be you. You used to go along with the flow and all of this in your family until you realize these energies went to court. They actually sided with the opposition. And your family, they sided with the opposition to stab you in the back. You said, okay. You held your peace. You held your peace. And you still gonna hold your peace. You still gonna hold your peace. Somebody has a very bitter ex-lover who wants you. You still gonna hold your peace. Third eye chakra cleanse, but your third eye is now open. Yeah, throat chakra cleanse. So what you're teaching whoever you allow into your space, that they had to see something for themselves first. They had to see something for themselves first. This is what a lot of people have in common. They had to see something for themselves first. But this energy, they did everything they could do to you. They just set you up to show people that you're no better than they are, Gemini. This is in your family, okay, somebody? Blood, there's a blood moon. They wanted a blood bath with you. But I'm telling y'all, you ain't bleeding out for these energies. You're not doing no blood donations for these energies. Right? So they can, these energy vampires, they would have sucked you dry. Okay? You're not, They were going for blood. Why? Because you know your worth and you know your value. That's why. They were going for blood. Somebody in your family even was in a relationship with somebody that you was in a relationship with. So if you was in a relationship, you thought somebody was your twin flame, this is in your family. They went right into, they saw you as competition. They made a decision to be with your person they thought was a twin flame. Anything to copy your, y'all don't get what I'm saying here. Cut them off. You ain't listening to nobody else in your family say, oh, we all family and, you know, things happen and mistake. Okay, you go under that spell. You go under that spell. You go back into zombified state. That's how these bad traditions are passed down in families. That's how people zombify out. Well, you know, they always had problems. Okay, well, guess what? You keeping that mess outside of your house. Crown chakra. Adjust your crown, Gemini. They always had problems. Guess what? It's help. Go get help for that mess. Somebody crossed all kinds of lines. Jealous. Just jealous. Straight up jealous. This would be a type of an energy that no matter how much more people told them that they had of you, so they could have been hearing that they look better than you your whole life, that their complexion was prettier than yours, whatever that freaking means. That's so stupid. That's colorism. That their hair was better than yours, that somebody wanted you, they wanted everything you had, everything. This is somebody in your family. Family could be, even if you're only child, this could be like a organization that you're in. This could be organization, could be job, it could be a part of whatever family means to you. No code whatsoever, none. So yeah, You're a very compassionate person. You had compassion for them, and you still do. You are a very compassionate person, but you're leaving their energy. They don't hear or see anything until you cut them off. Too many people had the same thing in common. Too many people had the same thing in common. You're gonna start seeing some things turn around for you. That's why some people, they go into hermit mode. That's the other side of this right here. This is your card, Gemini. Some people go into hermit mode because they've received a light had to come on for them. They kept showing compassion. Just adjust your crown, you know. They didn't mean it. You always got this in-between family member that's, well, they didn't mean what they did. Yes, they did. They meant everything. They meant sleeping with your person. They meant that. Because they wanted to be you. They wanted to be this. They wanted to be in. They wanted that same everything you had. They wanted the big coin. But you often imitate it but never duplicate it. I'm trying to help you, whoever you are in your family. Somebody wanted that same. Somebody could sit there and be like, well, you know, I forgive. Listen, you can forgive, but you're not carrying people on your back no more. You have the whole world in front of you. You're not dealing with sneaky people who do stuff behind your back. Something had to put a flame up under your back, a blowtorch or something. Because something was disrupting your peace. You sitting around the table with some energies and you couldn't figure out for the life of you. I'm sitting around all these divine connections and, you know, and people lying to you about somebody on the outside of a circle of energies. And you kept saying, no, I'm picking up on something within. Oh, that person must have mental problems because they don't seem like it. Okay, keep going. Okay, let's start with source, whatever your creator is. Source, show me what I'm not seeing then. If I'm not seeing it, if I'm not getting the answers from this circle, source, you show me what I'm not seeing. Source had to show you in the physical so you could have a tower moment. That you were around energies who just hop to conclusions about some stuff. You had to see something for yourself. There was no code in the circle. No code. None in the circle whatsoever. Somebody was dealing with a very impulsive spirit. They have no control over their body parts. They have none. None. And then, you know, again, you're not judging people whatsoever. But Source had to show you, in a sense, this is in your inner circle. People kept trying to kind of create some kind of distraction. Well, let me show you this. They messing around with this person. They messing around with that person. They messing around with this person. But the one that was bringing the bone, how you got so much information on so many people? So it's just trying to help you. 292, channel anxiety. There it is. Just like I'm channeling these messages right here. I'm picking up on somebody's energy. I'm trying to bring you into enlightenment, right? 292. Somebody was right there in the middle, ending you and somebody else. Right in the middle. Basically, a hater. They would tell you to cut off your own kids, tell you to cut off your own spouse. They don't want you to talk directly to somebody. They first don't want you to talk directly to source. That's first, okay? So you can make up your own mind and make up your own decision. Because once you make up your own mind, because you feel like, okay, you have all that you need, all the facts that you need to make a decision, you need to move this number 9 out the way. 9 is the end of something, right? So somebody was in between you and somebody trying to end you and somebody else. They were already in there. They felt like they were already on the inside, the inner circle, right? They were already in, right? Looking at your peace being disrupted, looking at somebody else's peace being disrupted, right? So they felt like, okay, they have this access to seeing something from a higher frequency, but they haven't resolved something within themselves, Geminis. So Source is saying anybody that's trying to disrupt you and your spouse, you and your kids, how you got so much insight? Why isn't somebody saying go to your higher power first and removing themselves, right? I'll pray for y'all, but something just Nothing should be off about their spirit. I'll pray for y'all, but you know, and just move on, right? So you're creating positive distractions to reroute nervous energy. So your angels are validating that the anxiety and grief that you're experiencing can be overwhelming. Your angels are with you presently. They urge you to channel those emotions into positive distractions. So clear your energetic space to create an oasis for something enjoyable and unrelated to your anxieties by cleansing yourself with water in some way. Take a bath or a shower or go swimming if possible. Yeah, you're clearing your anxiety. When people are sitting right at the table with you and they just, sometimes it's hard to see it. It really is hard to see it until you go directly in prayer. You're like, okay, source, help me. I'm not seeing something. Like, let me back up from the table. Let me go to clarity, you know. But what you're dealing with is a person who is tactless, right? In other words, what you were dealing with was an energy that will make you try to make you feel stupid by not seeing something fast enough. What's wrong with you? You don't see this, you don't see that, you can't see, you can't, that kind of stuff. And they're supposed to be sitting around a table like with other energies around you. You don't see this, you don't see that. They were sitting, they were too close to you. They were literally between you and somebody else. You can't see this for yourself. It's like having that friend that's basically telling you everything is wrong with your marriage. They're a little bit too close. They feel they're too close for comfort. That friend, the one that feels like they can come in and out of your house, and I'm not interested in your husband, I'm not interested in your wife, but they showing up when you're not there. Every time you cry, they act like they're showing some compassion. They're listening to everything you're saying. It's a familiar spirit. So somebody is now, but they're very impulsive, right? And so somebody got in trouble doing something impulsive this time that now they realize, oh, shoot, okay. Something has just gone too far. Something has gone way too far. And now a lot of people are seeing it. So now you're opening your vault door and you're closing it because you're not a fool. You're like, okay, wow. Yeah, so you and somebody are saying goodbye to a couple and their kids. Yeah, they just take stuff too far. They're a karmic couple. They like to keep everything about them secret. Like what they do behind closed doors is secret, but you're cutting them off because they stepped over a line. So you're ending some kind of connection with them. Whoever this karmic couple is. Yeah. Yeah, somebody feels conflicted and defeated. But they, like I said, they couldn't see it until they didn't see anything, they didn't hear nothing until they got kicked out, and then a light came on. Then a light came on. No matter how warm you were with this energy, and you're talking to this energy, you're warm hearted, you kept asking them about something, they kept lying to you. Oh, I don't know who I'm talking to, but somebody kept lying to you over and over and over again. Every time you asked them something, they kept lying because that's how bad they wanted to be a part of something, right? But until somebody heard something you said, because we were talking about this right here is water, a light came on. It was so blaring that they feel conflict. That's why you're not judging them, because for you, as a mutable sign, something had to put a light on in you too. That's why you're not judging people. Yeah. Who can judge anybody for real? But the only way that this energy will have access to your life is that just like they're gonna have to cut all of these energies off, all of them. That's the only way they would have access to you, and that has to be permanent. It has to be permanent cut off because somebody just could not see it. It's like asking somebody 1,001 times, like asking your a Leo is involved in something. This is like asking your brother or sister or kids or somebody, do you still hang out with that friend? But that friend has some very unhealthy things that they indulge in, right? And this person want to be a part of the group so bad that they would lie to you knowing that your heart is in the right place towards them. Every time you ask them, you still talking to someone? No. You still hang out with someone? No. They keep lying and lying and lying until you expose. I don't even think that you even realize what you were exposing. Whatever you're talking about, I don't even think you realize what you were exposing. But it's a blessing for them. A light finally came on for somebody of how gifted and talented you are, but also how gifted and talented they are. As sources inside of them. Some people's kids will keep lying to them about who they still hanging around until something that your gifts and talents, you're in your north node. Whoever you are, you're in your north node. So it's new everything for you. But Source had to finally get something out of you. Finally talk about something high vibrational that's going to help bring people into the light. You had to finally expose a secret within your family. That's how it made it relatable. That's how something made something relatable. So either somebody in your family is in a same-sex relationship, or you are in a same-sex relationship, or whatever, something about you or your kids, or something had to come out to channel your anxiety to something positive, to show what was coming in between. But somebody was right there in between you and somebody. This is like sitting there like analyzing everything you were saying, literally just analyzing that's like a machine, just sitting there just analyzing everything, every little thing you said. Somebody who was already, like I said, dead behind the eyes. That's what I have for you all. Hopefully this is helpful. But like I said, how Source is going to help you all, Geminis, to round this out. Here's some tips for what you can do during this moon is reflect on whether your career aligns with your heart. Do you love what you do, right? Your north node. Do you really love what you do? Because people will challenge that. Second is be open to sudden shifts. Eclipse often redirect us. Third is don't ignore home and emotional needs while chasing success. And then fourth would be trust intuition in professional matters. It's stronger than logic right now. So for Gemini rising, this eclipse lands in your 10th house of career and reputation, marking a karmic reset in your public role. So something may be ending, but it's clearing space for more authentic direction, right? So yeah, somebody was right in the middle. They want to know, like it was like in a tennis match. They listened back and forth, going back and forth, like they was in a tennis match, in your family, whatever, like I said, whether it's church family, mosque family, temple family, whatever kind of organization family, if you're an only child, or if it's in your blood relative family, they just sitting back watching. And so that thing spilled out into that copycat energy spilled out around their table. They sitting there watching everybody, copying everybody, okay, waiting for the big, takeover. And so Source is saying, you feel blessed at this point, but your gifts and talents, but somebody had to be really kicked out of something for a light to come on for them. So it'll be interpreted many different ways, many different ways. Something will be interpreted many different ways. There is a Scorpio chain to something. Scorpios in Aries are ruled by the Tower card. This is Mars. Somehow a Scorpio is chained to something. It's keeping people chained to something. Like basically saying, in hindsight, I wish I had known this. I wish I had known that. But even with that, you're going to have to not blame yourselves. Because somebody came in between you and somebody to end your relationship. They was happy when you went to divorce court. How many times you could have gone to divorce court? 2 and 2 is 4. You could have been divorced 4 times, 9 times. Or you could have been going back and forth to court 292 times, whatever. Somebody was right there to act like they were showing you all of this compassion. And so Source is saying to you, but really it was you were supposed to end it with them. You and your kids were supposed to end it with them. And that's now Source can release the money, whatever Source is releasing. So it's a lot. It's a lot. 10 cups. 10 cups. This is somebody is now learning their love language. You're learning your love language. And part of it is family. If you see how somebody's family treats them, even in the dating stages, or their friends treat them when you just meet them, just on a, they treat them any kind of way, and they just, oh, you know, acting all passive and all that. They're not putting people in their place like an adult. They're gonna treat you the same way. You supposed to sit there and take it. And then you rising up like you're a lion, about to pounce on everything like they just some helpless lamb. So source is saying you're gonna be telling them to speak up forever. So you pulling something up at the root. You learning telling people how to speak up. Speak up for yourself, and don't be afraid to cut people off. So everything don't have to be a hindsight moment. That is what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you all. But yeah, somebody's compassion just spilled way over too long until somebody just really, but somebody is coming back to you because they've been kicked out of something. Something has been revealed, somebody has been kicked out of something, and now somebody wants to come back to you. And I feel like the key for them to come into your life is if they cut people off completely. That's just going to be the only way. And if they find that too difficult, it's just going to be a no for you. I'm telling y'all won't even bat an eyelash. If it's their friends that they've been hanging out with that's been contaminating them, drinking buddies, whatever, girls, friends, boyfriend, whoever, it don't matter. Whoever, family members, you don't care who it is, who has been bringing that bad energy into your home, whoever it is, because you're willing to do it, they have to be willing to do it too. And if they're not, if they didn't believe things until they saw it, then they're going to see the new you, new love, new career, new life. Y'all got to remember too, Mercury is also not only the communication planet, but it's also the planet of learning and knowledge, okay? They have come into some new knowledge. They have learnt, okay, at a capital T at the end of that. They have just learnt something about themselves and you, that you're not just going along with any program anymore. So, yeah. You let God fight your battles, but don't get it twisted. Meek doesn't mean weak, because you could have laid some people out a long time ago. And this is to somebody else's family, because your family already know. That's why they ain't come for you. They ain't come for you directly. They had to come for somebody that you love. They couldn't come for you directly. Ooh, child. That's what I have for you, Geminis. That's what I have for you. But you having a total recall. That's what I have for you, all right?